Small makes the catch. The Bears rally to stop him at the 41-yard line, a gain of 7.
This is the third down a series ago where I thought the Eagles really got conservative. They went with the run to Deuce Staley. Granted, Deuce Staley has been productive for him, but you're at the approaching the midfield area. I think you got to push the ball downfield.
That was the first completion for Doug Peterson. Let's take a look at Andy Reid. Brought the West Coast offense in from Green Bay. Trying to get it going here in Philadelphia. Third down and long. Peterson with a pump fake. He's going deep to Dietrich Gels. Gels has it. 10-5 touchdown. Philadelphia, no flags on this one, a 57-yard hookup.
And that's what I'm talking about. Don't be conservative. Push that ball up the field. That's the call that should have been made a series ago. Working over there on Walt Harris. There's Walt Harris. Walt Harris is playing off, and he's going to squat. See, he stops his feet and looks inside. The one thing you never do as a corner. Stopped his feet and looked at the quarterback, and Gels keeps running. The rookie burns it.
Gels, a speed burner. And Norm Johnson.
And just threw it up, had to adjust to the ball and just made the catch. Although running on the field, it didn't feel like it was that low. You know what I mean, it felt like it was chest high. But after I've seen several replays, and it was pretty low. So
you ran a slant and go, Dietrich. Did you have a chance earlier in the game to set him up on a slant and feel like he was going to bite on that move?
No, that was the first thing I ran.
And that's probably why I didn't bite on it.
The reason you're here, one of the big reasons why you're here is because of your speed, Dietrich. And do you think Doug just threw the ball, even though who was it? Harris didn't bite? Do you think he threw it knowing you were just going to be able to get by him, even though their corners are known for their speed?
I think he had a certain amount of confidence in me, and plus, I mean, just doing the scouting report on Harris for that week, I mean, we knew that he liked to bite on slants and hitches, and he was very aggressive. So, I mean, he went in with the plan that I was going to be open. So
right. So you just threw it anyway.
Could y'all do that more often?
Yeah.
I mean, are there patterns of that? I mean, is that there more often than?
I mean, it just depends on the DB. I mean, most DBs are aggressive, but I mean, you have some that just sit back on things. They're great readers and no technique. Like Darrell Green, it'll be hard to run a slant and go on Darrell Green. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the DB and the team and the defense and what they run. Like you could never run one of those Tampa Bay.
Because
you might catch it. He might catch you too.
Well, to follow that up, John, I mean, when you talk about, why don't you do that more often? The rules are made for the offensive players. I mean, everything is at a disadvantage for that corner right now between illegal contact and pass interference. Teams should throw the ball deep more often.
I mean, I think it would be to team's advantage to do that, but I mean, for this offense, it's not really a big playoff. You know what I mean? It's more dink, 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 dink.
Are all the how do the plays get called? Are they scripted? With
to an extent, the first 15 are scripted.
The first 15
but after that is it's a feel thing.
And generally, on the average, first 15 take you to what point in the game? I mean, halftime?
No, the first couple of weeks it took you to the fourth quarter.
Never halftime. It depends on how long the drive is. I mean, I think that first drive was 3 and out.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then that was that wasn't even on the script. So
right.
It just depends on the situation. So.
I mean, as you all get more accustomed and more proficient in the dink, 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 do you think there is going to be the options added to where this offense, at least every now and then, goes vertical?
Yeah, I think it will, but
more often than once a game.
The thing is, if you dink them enough, I mean, they have to respect it. So if you're dinking them, you kill them with slants, they're going to bite on a slant. And I guess that's the object of the offense, to with a big play. But I think you have to throw the ball downfield, and I mean, I think we do it. It's just maybe we don't.
They have done it every game. Every game I've seen, they've gone deep at least once.
No, Torrance doesn't count. Torrance Small's receiver options, they don't count.
Why is that? Just because they've been unproductive?
No, it's because they don't go near anybody.
Yeah. What is the locker room like now with Doug Peterson in it? And is there more confidence in him than perhaps there was? Because he's shown you something. He's shown the team that he's capable of moving the offense.
I think it's always been a confidence. It's just we didn't have any chemistry. So I think the chemistry from the from the offensive line's perspective, from the receivers and quarterbacks perspective, it just wasn't clicking. And now, I mean, we've been working together since, I don't know, March, April. I mean, it's been a long time. So, I mean, we're finally starting to gel and come together. So that's why I think you seeing improvements in offense.
Dietrich, just going back to training camp this year, they kind of buried you during camp. I mean, all the reps were going to Charles and to Torrance and Brian Finner and Nate Brown, but you were like the number 5 guy throughout training. You didn't get a lot of repetitions in camp.
No, so I had to make the most of what I got.
Do you think they did it on purpose to kind of challenge you and to see what you were going to do?
I think it was maybe to challenge me and also to see what they had. You know what I mean? I mean, you bring in Nate. I mean, you want to play him, so you want to see what he can do. So, I mean, it goes both ways.
Okay.
People talk about why not play Donovan McNabb right now, and Andy Reid's contention is we need to teach the offense to the rest of the guys. We need to teach every part of this offense to the rest of the team. That's why I brought Doug Peterson here. So even if he's not playing well, when you come back to the huddle and you've done something wrong or he's done something wrong, it gets straightened out immediately and it doesn't go further than that. Whereas Donovan might not be as equipped with the information that Doug has. Do you agree with that? I guess that plan. Do you think that's a good plan, or knowing that Donovan's going to be here for the next 7 years, do you think he should play out?
I think I agree with the plan. I mean, because I've been in this offense for 2 years, and I still don't know everything that's going on, and I can only imagine what the quarterback has to go through. So, I mean, he has to learn an awful lot. So from that standpoint, I think Doug, he just knows offense, and right now, Donovan doesn't have a total grasp of the offense. So,
how much teaching does Doug do in a week of practice? I see him. Somebody will run a route and it won't click, and I see him come back and he's always, talking to the receiver, saying something, and I don't know what he's saying, but it seems like he's teaching then. How much teaching then? How much teaching does he do?
Oh, awful lot. I mean, this week he helped me out on. I think we had a short post, and he was telling me how to run it and what to expect and how the defense is going to play it. So, I mean, he helps out a lot.
Tell us about how you ended up here, because you were with the Patriots and you had a big game against the Eagles. I guess it was the final preseason game last year, right?
Yes.
Was it 2 seasons ago, or was it the end of last preseason?
End of last preseason.
Last preseason. So you had, I don't know how many catches, it was like 3 catches. So it was a big game. All of a sudden, hey, we want that guy. How did it come about in the way you saw it?
Oh, well, I actually, up to that point, that was my best preseason game, and just went out and caught a couple touchdown passes, and the next day I was here. So that's all I know.
You played under Bill Parcells?
Yes.
Played under Pete Carroll?
Yes.
Now Andy Reid. Are they, how does Andy Reid coming along as a rookie head coach?
It's hard to say. Andy Reid reminds me more of Bill Parcells, just the way he runs things. I mean, everything's organized. It's a tight ship. I mean, disciplined things. It's like if you have to be here, if you have to be at a certain depth or a certain position on the field, then you have to get there. And that's how Parcells' offense was, and it's just his demeanor. I mean, as a coach, is like you look at him, he looks all mean and stuff, but he's really a good teacher. I mean, he really is a really good teacher from an offensive standpoint. I mean, I really learned a lot, and just continue to hope to get better.
Dietrich, yesterday, you guys won on the road, and it's kind of unfair to guys like yourself that are only here in the second year, but did you feel kind of the pressure of this Eagles team not winning on the road over this period of time as a young guy in the second year here?
It was weird because the whole time during the game, I was just thinking about, just winning the game. Right. I mean, I really didn't think like we were on the road and we had to win this game. It was just thinking this is 2 in a row. So when I looked at it, I was like, wow, we just won 2 games in a row. I mean, and I haven't done that since we haven't done that since I've been here. So I was just like, wow, we won 2 games in a row. And then after we got in the locker room and Andy, gave his speech and whatever, and he mentioned that, then that's when it really sat in.
Dietrich, when you see it, because the offense has been struggled early and it looks like it's starting to pick up. When you have that good first half, do you look back today at the second half where it didn't click and say, that kind of a step back, or do you know what happened in the second half on why things stopped clicking in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, because Chicago made some adjustments.
Okay.
So, I mean, you have to credit them, and then you also have to...
What adjustments did they make?
Well, they started playing a lot more cover 2, which kind of really takes away the outside receivers.
Compared to what were they doing in the first?
You all make to that?
just run slants and stuff like that still, but the way they were inside shading you. So I mean, they were
Taking
heavy
slants
inside.
away.
Yeah, they were taking the slants away. So
They can go from 200 to 21, or 201 to 28. Well, I can, because that's what happened.
yeah.
People talk about the the losing streak, and I talked to a lot of guys yesterday, and the guys who seem to take the losing streak to heart are guys like Steve Everett and William Thomas and Troy Vincent, guys who have been here and started for a few years. That's their losing streak. But if you talk to, I don't know, you just attested, well, you know, we won 2 games in a row, it wasn't that big a deal, but you talk to guys like, I don't know, Doug Peterson, or Andy Reid, or Jeffrey Lurie even. They say, look, this is a new regime. That losing streak ended for us when Andy Reid took over. Is that the prevailing thought in the locker room?
Definitely. I mean, we just have the utmost confidence in Andy Reid and his ability to guide and lead, and we're just going to try to keep getting better and better offensively each and every week. I mean, because we put it together for 2 quarters, but you got to put it together for 4 in this league. I mean, because everything is the parity in this league is just everything is so equal. Everybody says we don't have talent, but I mean, everyone in the league has talent, and anyone in the league can beat you. So what we're trying to do is just progress each and every week and get better and better. So what we're trying to do is put this thing together in 4 quarters now.
You know, you have 9 catches, which is not a lot of catches in your career, but you know you're just getting started really. But you average 17.5 yards per catch. Is that just being in the right spot at the right time? Is it your speed? That's some big plays to average that kind of.
It's a little bit of both. I mean, just during my career, I've always been labeled as like a big play type receiver, never like the possession type receiver, just home runs here and there. So, I mean, it's just part of just what I can just bring, I guess. I mean, just speed and big plays.
What did Coach Reid say after the game to the team?
Just basically that, I mean, the first thing he said that we got 2 in a row. I mean, and not to take anything away from ourselves, and we played well, and then second of all, we got the monkey off our back, so to speak, the losing streak.
What was the plane ride like?
Well, for me, I was asleep, so I'm always sleeping on the plane. So
You were sleeping? Was it?
Always sleep.
Was it? Were any other guys? Was it nuts? Was it nutty? I mean, you know,
it's never nutty.
Yeah, well, obviously
never,
wasn't that nutty. They didn't wake him up, I guess, is what.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. I mean, or else I would have been awoke. But I mean, it was just calm. I mean, everyone's happy.
Last question: how'd you Dietrich? How'd you get that name?
My mother. She named me after. I think it was Marlena Dietrich.
No, Marlene Dietrich, right.
Yeah, she named me after her. So that's how I got the name. Yeah.
Named you after Marlena Dietrich.
Yeah.
You know, you don't spread that around.
I know. She said she liked the name Dietrich.
Yeah,
Right,
as long as he could have been Marlene Gels. Okay?
Right.
I'm glad it wasn't that. Dietrich, thanks a lot. And congratulations on your game yesterday. Dietrich Gels joining us. Brian, thank you very much. Great to see you as always. Brian Baldinger from Fox Sports. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more a little Flyers talk. They won their first game of the season last night, 5-2, right here against the Sabres. We'll talk about that when we return.